Title: The Last Game. Cristiano Ronaldo had seen it all. 5 Ballon d'Ors, countless trophies, goals that seemed to defy physics. But time, even for legends, remained undefeated. At 42, he was still playing, still proving doubters wrong. But he knew the end was near. Then, one day, he received an unexpected call. It was from an American billionaire, William Carter, the owner of a struggling MLS club, Los Angeles Storm. "Cristiano, I need you for one last mission," Carter said. "We're on the verge of folding. One season. Save the team. Inspire a new generation. Name your price." Ronaldo hesitated. He had offers from Saudi Arabia, lucrative business ventures, and a comfortable life awaiting him. But the challenge intrigued him. He had always thrived when people doubted him. With a knowing smile, he simply said, "I'll do it." Los Angeles went wild. Tickets sold out in minutes. Jerseys with Ronaldo's name flooded the streets. MLS, once growing steadily, exploded overnight. But things weren't easy. The Storm was in last place, filled with young, inexperienced players. Some resented Ronaldo's arrival, believing he was just there for the show. In training, they expected a superstar past his prime. Instead, they met a machine. At 5 a.m., he was already on the pitch. He outpaced players half his age. Every shot, every drill, perfection. Slowly, the team transformed. Young players who once doubted him now listened to every word. The season began. At first, the results were mixed. Ronaldo scored, but the team still struggled. Then came the turning point, a crucial match against Miami, Messi's team. The media dubbed it the last dance. Ronaldo and Messi facing off one last time. The game was electric. Ronaldo scored a stunning bicycle kick, but Messi responded with a brilliant free kick. 2-2, stoppage time. Then, a foul just outside the box. Ronaldo stepped up. The stadium fell silent. One deep breath. A final moment of magic. The ball curled into the top corner. The net rippled. The crowd erupted. Ronaldo had done it again. Los Angeles Storm went on to make the playoffs, an impossible feat months earlier. In the final match, down 1-0 in extra time, Ronaldo made one last run, delivering the perfect assist for the winning goal. The whistle blew. Champions. As he lifted the trophy, he looked around, knowing this was truly his last game. He had done what he always did, defied expectations, inspired millions, and left on his own terms. Walking off the field for the last time, he smiled. Not bad for a 42-year-old, he thought. Legend forever. The aftermath. In the weeks following the championship, Ronaldo became the face of MLS, drawing global attention to the league. His influence extended beyond the pitch, endorsements skyrocketed, television ratings broke records, and young talents from all over the world now viewed America as a legitimate footballing destination. But for Ronaldo, the question remained, what next? The offers poured in. Coaching jobs, broadcasting deals, even ownership stakes in clubs across the globe. Yet, he remained undecided. Then came another call from none other than William Carter. "Cristiano, what if I told you that I want you to take over as manager of Los Angeles Storm?" Ronaldo raised an eyebrow. "Coach? Not just a coach. A leader. You built this team. You proved everyone wrong. Who better to guide them to even greater heights?" It was a tempting offer. He knew the game better than anyone, and the fire within him still burned bright. But could he truly step off the pitch for good? After days of consideration, he made his choice. A new beginning. The following season, Ronaldo returned to Los Angeles, this time in a suit, standing on the sidelines. The players looked at him with the same awe they had when he first arrived, but now they sought his wisdom. Training sessions became more intense. His presence demanded the best from every player. Under Ronaldo's leadership, the Storm evolved. They adopted an attacking style of play, pressing high and moving with precision. Young players flourished, inspired by their legendary coach. Midway through the season, Los Angeles Storm sat at the top of the league. But challenges remained. Injuries, tactical struggles, and a new wave of doubters who questioned if Ronaldo could succeed as a manager. Then came another defining match against New York Empire, a team that had dominated the league for years. The media painted it as Ronaldo's true test as a coach. The match was a thriller. Los Angeles took an early lead, but New York clawed back, making it 2-2 in the final minutes. With the game on the line, Ronaldo's tactical genius shone. He made a bold substitution, bringing on a young forward who had been struggling with confidence all season. "This is your moment," Ronaldo told him. Minutes later, the youngster scored the winner. The stadium erupted. As Ronaldo watched from the sidelines, a feeling of satisfaction washed over him. This was different from scoring goals himself, but it was just as fulfilling. He had once again proven that age was just a number. He had once again rewritten his own story. Legend forever. The legacy grows. As the months passed, Ronaldo's managerial career flourished. Under his guidance, Los Angeles Storm transformed from an underdog into a powerhouse, a team feared across the league. Young players who once doubted him were now stars, attributing their success to his relentless discipline and unmatched knowledge of the game. But with great success came new challenges. One evening, as Ronaldo sat in his office overlooking the training ground, Carter walked in, his expression serious. "Cristiano, we need to talk," he said. Ronaldo leaned back in his chair. "Let me guess, another sponsorship deal?" Carter shook his head. "It's bigger than that. The league wants you to become the global ambassador of MLS. They believe you can take it to the next level. More international matches, more top talent, more everything." Ronaldo sighed. He had just started feeling at home in his managerial role. Stepping away from the dugout so soon? It didn't sit right. "And if I say no?" Ronaldo asked. Carter smirked. "Then I suppose you keep winning here. But just know, this isn't just a role. It's a movement. The future of football in America could depend on it." A tough decision. Ronaldo had never been one to back down from a challenge. Yet, this was different. Late at night, he found himself staring at his old jersey, framed on his office wall. He had built a career on being the best, on proving people wrong. But could he really walk away from coaching just as he was making a mark? The next day, at training, he watched his players with a mixture of pride and nostalgia. They were hungry. They wanted to be great. And he saw himself in them. After the session, his assistant, a former MLS player named Javier Mendoza, approached him. "You've been quiet, boss. Something on your mind?" Ronaldo hesitated before saying, "I might be leaving." Javier nodded, unfazed. "I figured. You were never meant to stay in one place. But let me ask you something. What do you want your legacy to be?" Ronaldo thought for a moment. His legacy? Was it just about titles? Goals? Trophies? Or was it about something bigger? The next morning, he called Carter. "I'm in," Ronaldo said. "But I have one condition." Carter chuckled. "Name it." "Javier Mendoza takes over as head coach." A pause. Then, done. Taking football to the next level. Ronaldo's new role took him across the world. He met with owners, players, young talents, convincing them that MLS wasn't just a retirement league, it was the future. More European and South American stars began considering a move to the U.S. New academies opened across the country, inspired by his vision. MLS viewership exploded globally. But no matter where he traveled, Los Angeles Storm was never far from his heart. 1 year later, he returned to their stadium, watching from the stands as his team, his former players, fought for another championship. The whistle blew. Storm had won. And there, standing on the sideline, was Javier Mendoza, now a celebrated coach, lifting the trophy Ronaldo had once fought for. A small smile played on Ronaldo's lips. "Not bad," he whispered to himself. "Not bad at all. Legend forever." The next chapter. Despite his new role as MLS ambassador, Ronaldo couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. Watching from the sidelines was one thing, but the thrill of competition, the rush of making real-time decisions in a match, was irreplaceable. One evening, as he sat in his Miami penthouse overlooking the ocean, his phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "Cristiano, we need to talk. Meet me in Madrid. Tomorrow." There was no signature. No indication of who it was. But deep down, Ronaldo had a feeling he already knew. He packed his bags. A call from Real Madrid. When Ronaldo landed in Madrid, he was greeted not by journalists or screaming fans, but by an old friend, Florentino Perez, the president of Real Madrid. They shook hands firmly, then entered a private office inside the legendary Santiago Bernabéu. "Cristiano, let's not waste time," Perez said. "Carlo Ancelotti is leaving. We need a new manager." Ronaldo raised an eyebrow. "And you think that's me?" Perez leaned forward. "You are Real Madrid. You understand this club like no one else. You've won everything here as a player. Now, we want you to lead us back to greatness as a coach." For the first time in years, Ronaldo felt a fire reignite inside him. This wasn't just any club. This was home. But it wasn't an easy decision. Coaching in Spain was a different beast compared to MLS. The expectations were brutal. Every match, every decision, would be scrutinized. Still, was there ever a challenge he had backed down from? Ronaldo smiled. Let's do it. The return of a king. The world erupted when the news broke. CR7 returns. Ronaldo named Real Madrid manager. Social media exploded. Former teammates congratulated him. Some fans doubted his experience. Pundits speculated about whether he could handle the pressure. But Ronaldo? He was already working. His first move was bringing in his own coaching staff, a mix of experienced tacticians and former players who shared his vision. Among them, his old MLS assistant, Javier Mendoza, now recognized as a tactical genius. His second move? Rebuilding Madrid's mentality. Training was ruthless. Players expected an easy ride under a club legend. Instead, they got preseason drills at 5 a.m. You play for Madrid, Ronaldo told them. That means you train like champions every day. Some players embraced it. Others? They weren't ready for his intensity. But Ronaldo wasn't there to be liked. He was there to win. The first Clásico. His first real test came quickly, a match against Barcelona. The world watched as Ronaldo, now in a suit, walked onto the Camp Nou field as Madrid's manager. Across from him, Barcelona's new coach, Lionel Messi. It was a rivalry reborn. But now, from the sidelines, the match was electric. Madrid took an early lead, thanks to a wonder goal from their young Brazilian star. But Messi's Barcelona struck back, equalizing in the second half. With 10 minutes left, Ronaldo made a substitution. A young academy player, barely 18, stepped onto the pitch. A player Ronaldo had personally scouted. In the final moments, the kid received the ball on the edge of the box. One quick touch. A stunning shot. Goal. Madrid had won. And Ronaldo had proven, once again, that he was made for the big moments. The legacy lives on. Under Ronaldo, Real Madrid dominated Europe once again. He built a new dynasty, mentoring the next generation of footballing superstars. And every time he stepped into the Bernabeu, the fans chanted a familiar name. So, he had done it all. As a player, as a coach, as a legend. And he wasn't done yet. Because for Cristiano Ronaldo, greatness never stops. A challenge like no other. With Real Madrid thriving under his leadership, Ronaldo had silenced his critics once again. His team dominated La Liga, went deep into the Champions League, and played a style of football that was both ruthless and electrifying. But then came a twist no one saw coming. A late-night meeting with Florentino Perez changed everything. Cristiano, we have a problem, Perez said, setting down a folder thick with documents. Financial fair play restrictions are hitting us harder than expected. The squad needs restructuring. We may have to sell some key players. Ronaldo's jaw tightened. Madrid was rolling, but losing core players would set them back years. That's not an option, he said. Perez nodded. Then you'll have to find another way. And just like that, Ronaldo was facing the biggest test of his managerial career, not just winning on the field, but rebuilding Madrid in the middle of a storm. A shock returned to the pitch. Rumors began to swirl. The media speculated about Madrid's financial struggles. Would Ronaldo be forced to sell his best young stars? And then, a bombshell report hit global headlines. Cristiano Ronaldo registers himself as a player for Real Madrid. The world lost its mind. Could it be? Was CR7 coming back at 44 years old to save his team? At a press conference, journalists fired questions at him. Cristiano, are you really going to play again? Ronaldo smirked. I haven't lost a step. A reporter laughed. You're in great shape, but this is La Liga. You really think you can keep up? Ronaldo leaned forward. Watch me. The ultimate comeback. Ronaldo put himself on the team sheet for a crucial Champions League knockout game. Injuries had left Madrid short on options, and the squad needed a spark. The Bernabeu was electric when he stepped onto the pitch. Fans chanted his name, disbelief in their eyes. And when the game began, it was like he had never left. Within minutes, he showed his sharpness, finding pockets of space, delivering pinpoint passes. But could he still score at the highest level? Then, in the 89th minute, with the match tied 1-1, Madrid won a free kick just outside the box. A familiar scene. The stadium held its breath. Ronaldo placed the ball, stepped back, one deep breath, strike. The ball curled into the top corner. Goal. The Bernabeu erupted in what might have been the loudest roar in its history. Ronaldo had done the impossible. His teammates mobbed him. Even the opposing players shook their heads in disbelief. The aftermath. After the match, the headlines were endless. Cristiano Ronaldo, 44, stuns the world in legendary comeback. CR7 proves age is just a number. Ronaldo's return, the greatest sports story ever? Ronaldo played only a handful of games after that, but he had made history one final time. His short return helped Madrid stabilize financially, and his presence ignited a new generation of fans. At the end of the season, he finally hung up his boots for good. This time, there was no doubt he had left football on his own terms, as both a player and a coach. As he stood in front of a packed Bernabeu, addressing the crowd in his final farewell, he said just 2 words. "Thank you." And then, walking down the tunnel one last time, he smiled. Because legends never truly fade. They just become immortal. Beyond the game. With his legendary football career officially behind him, Ronaldo faced a new challenge, life after football. For years, he had dedicated himself to the game, chasing perfection on the pitch. But now he had the world at his feet in a different way. A new empire. Ronaldo wasn't one to sit still. Within months of retiring, he made headlines again, not for football, but for business. He launched CR7 Sports Group, a multi-billion-dollar investment firm focused on football clubs, fitness brands, and technology ventures. His first major move? Buying a controlling stake in Sporting CP, his boyhood club. The moment the news broke, Lisbon erupted. Sporting fans couldn't believe it. Their greatest ever player was coming back, not as a player, not as a coach, but as the owner. At his first press conference as Sporting's new boss, he made a promise. "I started my journey here. Now, I will make sure Sporting competes with the biggest clubs in the world." He wasn't just talking. Within months, Sporting secured top young talents, modernized their facilities, and signed a groundbreaking sponsorship deal with Nike, bringing in millions. And when Sporting won the Portuguese league for the first time in over a decade, Ronaldo was there celebrating with the fans, just like he did as a teenager. The call from Portugal. Just as Ronaldo was settling into his new role as a club owner, he received a phone call that would shake the football world once again. It was from the Portuguese Football Federation. "Cristiano, we need you." Portugal's national team had struggled in the years since his retirement. They needed leadership. They needed a coach who understood what it meant to win. Ronaldo hesitated. He had never planned to manage an international team. But this wasn't just any team. This was his country. And so, he agreed. Cristiano Ronaldo, head coach of Portugal. The World Cup mission. The 2030 World Cup was just around the corner, and Ronaldo's return to the national team sent shockwaves through world football. The players idolized him. Young stars had grown up watching his highlights on YouTube. Now, he was their coach. But Ronaldo didn't come back just to inspire. He came back to win. His tactics? High pressing, relentless attack, absolute discipline. His message? Play like champions, or don't play at all. Portugal stormed through the tournament, reaching the final for the first time since their Euro 2016 triumph. And who were they facing? Argentina, led by a new generation of stars and managed by none other than Lionel Messi. The world held its breath. Ronaldo versus Messi. One last time. The greatest final ever. The game was a classic. Portugal struck first, a stunning long-range goal. Argentina equalized with a moment of brilliance. Then, in the 85th minute, Portugal won a penalty. The cameras zoomed in on Ronaldo. He wasn't playing, but he stood at the edge of his technical area, fist clenched. The young striker stepped up. One kick to win the World Cup. He scored. Portugal were world champions. The final whistle blew. Ronaldo fell to his knees. He had done it. As a player, as a coach, as a legend. The final chapter. After the World Cup, Ronaldo stepped away from coaching, returning to his business empire. He expanded CR7 hotels, launched a chain of football academies, and continued to be one of the most influential figures in sports history. And as he sat in his luxurious Madrid home, watching the next generation take over, he smiled. He had lived the greatest football story ever told. And now, he would enjoy the view from the top. Because legends never fade. They just become immortal. The ultimate power move. Cristiano Ronaldo had conquered football as a player, a coach, and an owner. But deep inside, he knew his greatest challenge was still ahead. One day, while sitting in his Lisbon office overlooking the ocean, he received an unexpected visitor, Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president. "Cristiano," Infantino said, shaking his hand. "I won't waste your time. I'm stepping down next year. Football needs a new leader. A global icon. Someone who understands the game at every level. Someone like you. Ronaldo leaned back, raising an eyebrow. You want me to run for FIFA president? Infantino smirked. I don't just want you to run. I want you to win. For the first time in his life, Ronaldo was speechless. He had never considered politics, never imagined himself behind a desk in FIFA's headquarters. But this wasn't just any job. This was the chance to change football forever. Could he do it? Could he revolutionize the sport on a global scale? He didn't have to think long. He looked Infantino in the eye and said, "Let's do it. CR7 for FIFA president." The world went insane when Ronaldo announced his candidacy for FIFA president. The campaign was unlike anything football had ever seen. Players backed him. Legends like Zidane, Beckham, and even Messi voiced their support. Fans rallied behind him. CR7 for president banners appeared in stadiums worldwide. He promised bold reforms. More transparency in football. More investment in youth academies. New technology to improve officiating. But not everyone wanted him to win. The old power figures in FIFA, corrupt executives who had run the sport for decades, saw Ronaldo as a threat. They tried to discredit him, spread rumors, called him just a footballer, not a leader. But Ronaldo had spent his entire life proving doubters wrong. And when the election day arrived, he won by a landslide. Cristiano Ronaldo was now the most powerful man in football, revolutionizing the game. The moment Ronaldo took office, everything changed. VAR was reformed. No more endless delays, only clear and fast decisions. Financial fair play was tightened. No more backdoor deals ruining clubs. The World Cup expanded, more teams, more opportunities for underdog nations. Women's football skyrocketed, equal pay initiatives, and better funding for female players. But his biggest move? Ending the European Super League forever. When billion-dollar club owners tried to revive the controversial breakaway tournament, Ronaldo personally shut it down, making it clear that football belonged to the people, not the rich elite. His presidency wasn't just about politics. It was about protecting the soul of football. The final speech. Years passed. Under Ronaldo's leadership, football entered a new golden age. And then, one evening at FIFA's annual gala, Ronaldo stood before the world one last time. I have lived and breathed this game my entire life. From the streets of Madeira to the biggest stadiums on earth, football has given me everything. And my mission was always simple: to give back. To make this sport better for every child who dreams of playing. Now, it's time for me to step away. My job here is done. The room erupted in applause. Tears filled the eyes of fans, players, and officials alike. Because they knew there would never be another like Cristiano Ronaldo. A player, a coach, a champion, a leader, a legend. Forever.